Now let's turn our focus to Europe, to a country in the east called Moldova. Moldova is located between Romania and Ukraine. It is home to about 3 million people. Most of the locals are ethnically Romanians, but there's a sizable Russian minority as well. Yesterday, Moldova went to polls. It was a twin election. People voted for two things: a new president and a constitutional change. Now, the presidential election was inconclusive. A second round needs to be held for that. But the people of Moldova have chosen to amend their constitution and permanently enshrine a goal: joining the European Union. As you can imagine, Russia is not happy about this. Our next report tells you why.
Moldova has charted out its next course. The country has officially decided to join the European Union. This isn't some political pledge or mere wishful thinking. Moldovans actually voted for this. They held a referendum on Sunday and chose to enshrine EU membership in their constitution.
According to preliminary data, 50.16% of voters who participated in the referendum voted yes to the question put to the referendum, and 49.84% answered no.
That's a razor-thin margin, not even 51%. It shows just how divided Moldova is.
We do not need the European Union. What we need is Moldova standing on its own feet. That's what I want to say. It is insane, all this European Union craze. I do not get it.
Almost half the people don't want to join the EU. They would rather stay out, or perhaps even turn to an old partner instead. For about 280 years, Moldova was under Russian rule, first as part of the Russian Empire and then as a member of the Soviet Union. Moldova gained its independence in 1991, but it was still within Moscow's sphere of influence. The EU thinks Russia is still influencing Moldova, and they meddled in yesterday's polls.
Well, we were watching very closely the votes, both votes, the referendum and the presidential elections in Moldova. Moldova is a very important partner of the European Union. We noted that this vote took place under unprecedented interference and intimidation by Russia and its proxies, aiming to destabilize the democratic processes in the Republic of Moldova.
This view was echoed by Moldova's president, Maia Sandu. Sandhu's name was also on the ballot yesterday. There was a second vote being held simultaneously, Moldova's presidential election. Sandhu was trying to get re-elected, and she had hitched her wagon to the EU referendum. So, went down to the wire, Sandhu lashed out.
Moldova faced today, and in recent months, an unprecedented attack on freedom and democracy in our country. Criminal groups together with foreign forces, hostile to our interests, have attacked our country with tens of millions of euros, lies and propaganda with the most miserable means to bring our citizens and our country into an area of uncertainty and instability.
She accused criminal groups of meddling in the election. In particular, her government blames a fugitive tycoon with alleged links to Russia. Moscow denies this, of course. In fact, Moscow says the opposite happened. They say the elections were not free, and they raised a number of questions. Russia has also asked Moldova to provide proof of any rigging. Will Sandhu do that? After all, her referendum went through. She's in the second round of the presidential election. It'll be held on the 3rd of November. And Sandhu has a sizable lead over her closest opponent. So, Sandhu might just choose to ignore the Russian allegations and focus on her re-election campaign. Moldova has now chosen a new path. It is now committed to joining the EU and distancing itself from Russia. But will Moscow allow this?
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.